Hello, my name is Marty Regan, and I am very happy to have the opportunity today to discuss the shakuhachi scene in the U.S. In contrast to our colleagues across the pond, where the European Shakuhachi Society functions as an umbrella organization for most shakuhachi-related activities in Europe, we don't yet have a centralized organization in the U.S. Because of this talk will focus on individuals rather than organizations throughout the U.S. who are movers and shakers in the international shakuhachi community. I wish to preface this talk by saying that since the U.S. is a firmly established territory for a wide variety of schools, styles, and approaches to the shakuhachi, with the limited time I have, I had to make decisions about who and what to include. First, I'd like to introduce you to Ralph Samuelson, a pioneer in the growing presence of shakuhachi music in the U.S. Samuelson was trained by late living national treasure Goro Yamaguchi as well as by Shudo Yamato and Kodo Araki V. He has been teaching in New York for over 30 years, and his students include Elizabeth Brown, Ned Rothenberg, Perry Young, Ad Robinson, and Zach Singer. He served as director of the Asian Cultural Council, which provides grants to encourage exchange between the U.S. and Asia. Notable grantees have included Some Sato and Isui Menegishi, who spent time in New York City, as well as Zach Zinger, who went to Tokyo to study with Akihito Obama, Kinya Sogawa, and Keisuke Zenyoji. Zinger has made a name for himself as a virtuoso jazz shakuhachi player, but is also a gifted composer. In 2020, he received the Fumi Onoyama Grant for his work Haiku and Variation for string quartet and shakuhachi and performed it in Carnegie Hall. This past February, he performed as a featured soloist alongside koto player Masayo Ishigure with the Colorado Springs Orchestra in Yugo Kanno's Revive Concerto for Koto and Shakuhachi. Also based in New York, James Nyoryaku Schleffer was honored by Musical America International as one of their 30 top professionals and influencers. With a career that spans over 40 years, Schleffer's efforts to promote and sustain traditional and contemporary shakuhachi music through performances, lectures, residencies, and concert programming is unprecedented. In 2008, he founded the NPO Kyoshin-an Arts, a contemporary music organization with a mission to bring Japanese instruments, specifically the koto, shakuhachi, and shamisen, to Western classical music. Kyoshin-an Arts presents concerts regularly all over the U.S. and actively commissions composers previously unfamiliar with Japanese instruments. On June 21st, under his direction, the Kyoshin-an Shakuhachi Ensemble performed at the Make Music New York Festival. On July 12th, he produced and performed in a concert titled Breathing Bamboo with 3 members of the Shakuhachi Five, Akihisa Kominato, Akihito Obama, and Kiichi Tajima. In 1977, David Kansuke Wheeler entered the tutelage of shakuhachi master Kawase Junsuke III. For the past 40 years, Wheeler has been teaching, performing, lecturing, and writing about the shakuhachi and Japanese music all over the world and has made numerous performance appearances on Japanese TV and radio. He was one of the primary organizers of the 1998 World Shakuhachi Festival held in Boulder, Colorado, and has resided there ever since. Born from the energy of the 1998 World Shakuhachi Festival, for over 25 years, Wheeler has spearheaded the annual Shakuhachi Summer Camp of the Rockies, which is dedicated to the education, promotion, and performance of shakuhachi in North America, and is the longest-running international shakuhachi retreat in the world. Held June 6th to the 10th, this year the camp moved to Claremont, Colorado, and was taught by instructors Yodo Kurahashi, Riley Lee, Kaoru Kakisakai, and Christopher Blaisdell. In California, there are 2 shakuhachi players of note, Elliot Kanshin Callan and Carl Young. Callan performs regularly at festivals, botanical gardens, churches, parks, and various community events, all while serving as president of the International Shakuhachi Society. Young is an accomplished jazz musician who in recent years learned to apply his improvisation skills to the shakuhachi. He performs at Japanese cultural festivals and in 2006 founded the ensemble En-Souza, which specializes in Japanese folk music and dance. American shakuhachi players Riley Lee and John Kazan Neptune both graduated from the University of Hawaii, Manoa. Lee left a legacy of the music of the Chikuho school, which he learned from Chikuho Sakai, and is carried on through his students Bob Hare and Stephen Casano. After residing in Japan for over 30 years, Christopher Yome Blaisdell recently moved to Hawaii, and his presence has reinvigorated the shakuhachi scene. The composition department at the University of Hawaii Manoa is known for its cross-cultural approach that embraces compositional practices and musical traditions from all over the world. In February, 21-string koto player Miki Maruta was invited to premiere new works for Japanese instruments by student composers, and Blaisdell performed several works on the concert. Blaisdell recently published an invaluable resource for shakuhachi players, Jiuta So Kyoku Lyrics and Explanations, Songs of the Floating World, which features translations and annotations of Edo period song texts. Here in Texas, Stan Kakuro Richardson has played the shakuhachi and taught for over 50 years. He has performed with the Dallas Symphony Orchestra and at many prestigious venues, including the Smithsonian Museum in Washington, D.C. He is headmaster of Mujuan, Texas, a branch of the Mujuan Shakuhachi School in Kyoto. Mujuan, Texas represents a solid footprint in the shakuhachi tradition in Texas and is a second home for Yodo Kudahashi, who has been visiting and teaching in Texas for over 25 years. Since 2008, I have been a professor at Texas A&M University, where I teach courses in composition, world music and ethnomusicology, and my research areas, traditional and contemporary Japanese music. I led a study abroad program for American exchange students in Japan for many years, focusing on Hogaku, and since 2017, I have regularly invited biwa player Yoko Hiraoka, shakuhachi players David Kansuke Wheeler and Christopher Yome Blaisdell, and koto player Yoko Reikano Kimura to A&M for residencies and concerts. I believe that my activities over the past 15 years has increased awareness and appreciation for Japanese music and culture. From April 17th to the 20th, 2025, Texas A&M University will host the 8th World Shakuhachi Festival. With fields awash in bluebonnets and temperate weather, spring in Texas is a perfect time to hold this festival. In addition to afternoon workshops and masterclasses, we will have 4 main stage concerts, including a gala concert on April 19th at Festival Hall Round Top, a small town where participants can experience local Texas history and color, followed by a buffet dinner. Please come to Texas to celebrate the music of the shakuhachi, a magical instrument that somehow has the power to transcend national, cultural, and linguistic boundaries with colleagues from all over the world. We look forward to showing you warm Southern hospitality.